Imagine stepping into a crowded room and feeling no need to check for the people who used to make you nervous. Instead of searching for a place to hide, you move through the space with an aura that makes others look toward you. Most men struggle in these environments. They fidget with their clothes, desperately hunt for eye contact, and project an image of someone who is constantly seeking permission to exist in the room. Today, we are breaking down 4 silent physical cues that shift that perception. These hacks are designed to project absolute detachment, showing that you are entirely focused on your own path. If you are ready to stop looking for validation and start claiming your space, type "I am powerful" in the comments, and let's get into the first technique. When you stop moving, your legs become the primary signal of your stability. Because they make up nearly half of your vertical frame, their position determines whether you look grounded or ready to run. Needy men broadcast anxiety by constantly shifting their weight from one foot to another, or immediately crossing their arms when they feel watched. These movements are subconscious attempts to protect the body. When you shift and fold, you are telling the room that you feel vulnerable and are trying to shield yourself from judgment. To project confidence, keep your feet shoulder-width apart so your weight is perfectly balanced. Your arms should remain relaxed at your sides, or slip one hand into your pocket, keeping the other completely free. Stillness is the ultimate indicator of self-assurance. When you stop fidgeting and stand completely still, you appear entirely comfortable with the attention of the room. When you move, remember that leaders do not hug the sidelines. They walk through the center of the room because that is where the influence is concentrated. Your upper body mechanics dictate your energy. Keep your chest slightly open, which allows you to breathe fully and signals you aren't intimidated by your surroundings. Let your shoulders swing naturally. A rigid upper body looks like a defensive posture, whereas a natural swing projects a sense of masculine ease. The most common point of failure is the eyes. Many guys instinctively look down at the floor the moment someone walks past them to avoid a potential interaction. Looking down suggests that you are submissive to the environment. It tells observers that you would rather disappear than be noticed. Instead, keep your head high and your gaze fixed straight ahead. You aren't trying to stare people down. You are simply looking past them because your focus is on a goal further in the distance. This level eye line signals that you are aware of your environment, but entirely detached from it. It shows you aren't looking for approval from the people you pass. Sitting down shouldn't lead to a smaller physical presence. You have to occupy a chair with the same level of ownership you had while standing. Avoid the phone crutch. Instantly swiping through apps the moment you sit down makes you look like you are avoiding the room and are reliant on constant distraction. Instead, sit with your back straight but relaxed. Lean back and plant both feet firmly on the ground to show you are anchored in the moment. Watch out for nervous habits, like shaking your legs or folding your limbs inward. These submissive cues suggest that you are trying to take up as little space as possible. When you sit back and comfortably observe the room without needing to distract yourself, you communicate that you are entirely secure in your own company. Hand movements are highly visible during an interaction. They can either reinforce your presence or expose your internal hesitation. Nervous habits, like touching your face or playing with a pen, leak restless energy. These small movements are often the first thing people notice when someone is trying to hide their discomfort. To project an aura of calm intelligence, use the steeple gesture. It is a specific tool used by high-value leaders to show they are in total control of a situation. To do this, simply bring the fingertips of both hands together to form a triangle. This position keeps your hands visible and still, signaling that you have absolute belief in what you are saying. Replacing fidgeting with the steeple removes the signs of stress that others might try to exploit. It frames you as a person who remains composed even under direct scrutiny. By combining absolute stillness, a high eye line, open seated posture, and the steeple gesture, you change the way you occupy space. You move away from the approachable nice guy image and toward a presence that commands respect before you ever speak. However, projecting this level of detachment will eventually draw attention from people who want to test your limits. If you want to know how to handle those tests and verbally dismantle an argument, click the video on your screen to learn the art of the savage reply. I'll meet you there.